for homecoming. That's what we have. We have a homecoming.
You're not happy about it, David?
No, well, I was one of those people in the US Embassy, so, and I did work in Boston as a student for a few summers. But it's quite funny, at the time you just thought that was totally normal. You thought that was the most normal thing in the world. Dublin, you could stay wherever you wanted. There were loads of flats for students, but there was no jobs. So we all went to Boston, where there was loads of jobs and no flats. And now we're back full circle in Dublin again, which is one of the reasons why I'm kind of skeptical of it. But with respect to immigration, when I was in my late teens and early 20s, that was totally normal. And for those of us who left, many of us, I think, left and had a good time. So it's not that I'm skeptical. I think the idea that people are coming back now is fantastic, but it's an ebb and flow.
But you don't think this boom is going to last, is that what you're saying?
No, I think if you go back to, let's say, the Bostons of the late 80s, what we had was exactly the same type of confluence of factors. Property prices were rising by 40, 50%. There was this thing called a condo craze, where everybody wanted a condominium on the waterfront. The same sort of stuff is happening in Dublin. The interest rate environment was very benign. Interest rates were very low. People were buying a flat and then buying another one and renting out. Exactly the same phenomenon. And it crashed.
Do you think we're going to crash?
I think there's no doubt.
When?
Possibly over the next 18 months, maybe 24 months.
18 months, 24 months?
Yeah, I mean, the property market is a classic speculative bubble at this stage. Every time I read the Irish press, you have, £1 million for this property, $1.5 million for that property. And then I hear people saying, well, it's all about the labour force. The labour force is growing by 2%, but the property prices are rising by 40%.
And is that a surefire indication of a bubble about to burst?
Absolutely, absolutely.
And there will be a lot of weeping and gnashing of teeth and negative equity and people stunk into mortgages.
It's very difficult to see how you get out of this situation without negative equity in certain cases. In all these cases, somebody gets left holding something that they paid a lot more for than they can sell.
Well, I don't want to dwell too much on the economy, but how come you're saying this and every other economist in the world is saying, no, we got 5 years boom time, we're on the hobby horse, we're going?
Well, I think it was, in 1995, when I was working at a Swiss bank, it seemed to me that Ireland was going to grow very, very strongly. And I did write that we'd grow 3 times the European average, because all the factors were right. There was a lot of spare capacity here. Interest rates were very high, they were coming down, taxes were coming down. There was a very large pool of underemployed people who, if given the opportunity, could actually work.
Right.
Now the opposite is the case. There was a time in Ireland where we had loads of people and no cash. And now we've loads of cash and no people. And both of those things are constraints. So I think basically the economy is straining at the leash. The easiest thing to look at is traffic.
Of course.
It's the ultimate sign
we're gluing ourselves
that
together.
People are spending a lot more than they're earning, and that the spending power of the economy is actually much greater than the potential of the economy to absorb it. Traffic is the best example.
Right. Tony, you heard Ian Banks talking about the suicide rate of young men, and you're very familiar with that indeed. Is this a concomitant of a boom?
Well, the